Okay, so this is considered C23. So you're gonna change it from C25 to C23. What we're gonna do here is we're going to color and label the peroneus longus and peroneus brevis muscles. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your notes from the lateral compartment, peroneus longus and peroneus brevis, and we're going to complete this worksheet similar to how we completed previous worksheets for coloring and labeling. So for this particular, these particular muscles, I'm going to use the color orange for one muscle and the color green for another muscle. And so what we're going to do is we're going to find the origin for the peroneus longus, which is the upper 2/3 of the lateral surface of the fibula. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to identify that by upper 2/3 of the lateral surface of the fibula for the peroneus longus. We're going to outline the upper 2/3. And then we're going to use orange for the peroneus longus. And I'm going to highlight this particular area. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the insertion via a long tendon that travels posteriorly to the lateral malleolus under the foot deep to the plantar surface foot muscles and to the plantar base of the first metatarsal and first cuneiform. So how it's going to work is in this particular drawing or this particular picture, it does not have the insertion point on the foot, but what we are going to do is we're going to track the muscle exactly how it indicates to us on our notes. So it says via long tendon that travels posteriorly to the lateral malleolus. So what we're going to do is we're going to identify the lateral malleolus here. We're going to outline it. We're going to shade it in a different color. So I'm going to shade this in, I'm going to use blue to shade the lateral malleolus in. And we know that the tendon travels posteriorly and inferiorly to the lateral malleolus. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to track this muscle. And then we're going to create, we're going to create a tendon that travels posteriorly and inferiorly. Okay, so it's going to track just like so. To the lateral malleolus. And then I'm going to write the origin. So we're going to write peroneus longus, and then origin, upper 2/3, lateral surface of the fibula, and we'll highlight that orange. And then, so we're only going to do origin for the peroneus longus. Peroneus brevis, we're going to outline, and we know the peroneus brevis is the lower 2/3 of the lateral surface of the fibula. So the lower 2/3, we're going to outline it like so. And we'll use green for this muscle. And its insertion is considered the base of the 5th metatarsal. So we're going to take the 5th metatarsal, which is here. Okay, so this is considered the 5th metatarsal. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can't see. The base is this area here. So we're going to highlight the base. We'll outline the base, and we'll highlight where that insertion point is. And then it tracks like so. And then we'll write peroneus brevis over here. We'll write its origin is the lower 2/3 lateral surface of the fibula. I will also do its insertion. Is the base of the 5th metatarsal. And its action is eversion and plantar flexion. With eversion being the primary and plantar flexion being the secondary action. Then we'll use green, highlight the muscle as it relates to the color that we drew the muscle origin and insertion with. And that completes the first page of C23. The second page of C23 is coloring the insertions of the muscles of the peroneus longus and peroneus brevis. So we're going to use the same color. For both muscles, and we're going to This is going to be the peroneus brevis. So we're gonna just write the peroneus brevis insertion. We know it's the base of the fifth metatarsal, which is here. And we can use green again. And going back to our previous page, which this is considered the close-up, we know that it tracks this way. Okay, so for the peroneus longus, we are going to use this picture for the peroneus longus, and we know from this image here that this muscle tracks laterally down, and it actually goes transitions posterior and inferior to the lateral malleolus and begins to travel under the foot. And so as it travels under the foot, it will travel from this side. This is the fifth metatarsal. This is the lateral aspect. It travels under the foot and inserts onto the base of the first metatarsal, which is here, and the first cuneiform. So the base of the first metatarsal is here. And the first cuneiform is right here. So this is what the insertion point is going to look like. For the peroneus longus. And so we'll use orange for the peroneus longus. We'll highlight it. And that muscle is going to track this way. And insert there. So what will happen is, again, this muscle will track on the lateral aspect and travel under the foot, and as it travels under the foot, it will come down under the foot, track under the foot, transition across the entire foot, and attach to the base of the first metatarsal and the first cuneiform. So then what you'll do here is you will peroneus brevis insertion, peroneus brevis, peroneus longus insertion, peroneus brevis insertion is the base of fifth metatarsal, which is there. And the peroneus longus insertion is the base of first metatarsal and first cuneiform, which is right there. So we will highlight that in orange. Highlight that in green. We will will also add action here, which is eversion, primary and plantar flexion. Is secondary. And that completes how to perform and complete C23.